Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Blunders and Bothwellians, the Wounded Witch edition. This is the Tuesday party back once again doing their crazy shenanigans at World's Edge, the very strange island full of very strange creatures and things that they are exploring, should we say. They have had a run-in with a very interesting creature known as Cockroach Squash, who claims to be the self-appointed representative of all creatures here on Glimmer. They didn't get to meet him for very long, however, because he locked them in the cabin of a shipwreck and decided to test them to see if they were good or not. However, they quelled the ghost inside and managed to put some things to rest, including the ghost himself, and now have been let out back on deck, reunited with all of their friends, and several creatures, including the pink-eyed dryad creature peering at them from between the trees, who was following them beforehand. They're now all back on the deck of the ship, and here they are, having a conversation. So we shall join the lovely Tuesday party. Here we are. Hello!
Hello.
Hi! Hello everybody! And how are we all today?
Super good.
Most excellent. Busy bees. The quick recap is that you guys have met a woman named Islia, who Vitheritas has sworn to protect. You guys have also met a creature named Beetlejuice, who claims to be the self-appointed representative of all the creatures here on Glimmer. Those of you who want to can remember that he said Glimmer and not World's Edge. And you have also been followed around by lots of different creatures who didn't actually come out to say hello to you, including one particular tree who decided to step backwards when offered a hug by Vitheritas. Varric offered the hug. You guys then managed to dispel a ghost spectre who haunted the shipwreck that you guys were thrown into, and now allowed back out on deck, you find yourself surrounded by lots and lots and lots of Fey creatures. There is the pink-eyed dryad who stands towards the front, who dispelled the tiger that Varric had made. There are tiny little creatures. I've got pictures of them up for you guys if you scroll a little ahead. There are dryads and naiads. There are old wisped, small ent creatures who have long sort of beards and things, and tiny little mushroom cap creatures who hop about. There are spirits of the forest who are made of leaves and petals and things who you can just about make out the facial features of before they gust on the wind and reform somewhere else. Beautiful women, beautiful men, tiny little fluffy creatures, which I think is the one thing you all focused on earlier. Yes, there is a tiny little fluffy creature with horns made of trees, and he's very cute. In fact, there's a whole little cluster of them, and they're all little and cute. And they're hanging around there, who I believe were being petted by Arissa. We just said that was occurring last time. Arissa, say welcome. We have Arissa's player today. Welcome back.
Thank you.
So, you guys are on the deck of this wrecked ship on the beach on the far side of the island. And you are surrounded by creatures. The cockroach squash guy is at the very, very, very back. Currently quite a little while away from you guys. You're on the deck. Go for it. Anyone have things they want to do, say, etc., etc.?
So we're kind of just standing around at the moment?
Yeah. Yes.
First, I'd like to glare at the guy who dispelled my saber-toothed tiger, because that was a nice tiger. I worked hard on that one.
Are you going to say that?
Yes.
It was a very, very nice tiger, but unnecessary.
Well, no. Not really. Because where the fuck did the fucker go? That's also something he's going to say out loud, because, well, his mind is still all over the place. Where the fuck is he? Ooh, squirrel. Where is he?
Your tiger has been dispelled. I'm sure you can bring him back at another point.
Yes, but do you know how much work that is?
I do.
That filthy cockroach deserves to be harmed by this.
Perhaps instead we can discuss your situation. We do not need any hostilities now.
That may be on your behalf, but from our perspective, he locked us away from our friend, forced us to fight an innocent ghost. Do I need to go on? With that, he's going to look at Verti because he knows that probably not like the things that he's mentioning either.
Patheratus is just going to growl.
Varric is actually going to take a tiny step away from Verti.
Just going to share the meme that was made beautifully by our wonderful... Was it Patheratus? Did you make this meme?
Which one? The
cockroach squash one. The Pikachu
Yeah,
one.
he did that one.
the Pikachu, that was me.
Oh, the Pikachu one. Okay, yeah, that's... Cockroach squash. Let's test you guys by forcing you to fight an innocent ghost. Us. Angry. Him. What? It's beautiful. It's in the video now. It's beautiful. So yeah, sorry. Carry on, guys. Character backstories. Hannibal's not amused. This is just going to be a day of making gifts.
We blame Varric for all of it. Look what you've done!
When in doubt, blame Varric.
I'm sure we can make a meme for that.
Oh, by the way, DM, how many of those flying petal creatures are around?
Flying pebble creatures.
Petal ones. The ones that are
Oh, the little spirits.
Yeah.
There's quite a few of them actually.
Do not eat them.
Cannibals kind of trying to take one of the petals discreetly from their bodies and
Okay. Would you like to take a petal from the pink and orange one? Would you like to take one from the sort of ocean blue one, or would you like to take one from a sort of meadow yellow one?
I'll go for the ocean one.
Okay. As you sort of reach out to stealthily take a feather, a petal.
Let's call it petals.
That's the word I'm looking for. Petal. The creature who has a masculine face but very high cheekbones, very beautiful, very Icelandic face, the high cheekbones, and the blue feathers sort of cascade down the back and they ripple as it turns around to face you, and you see the petals break into a smile, and it holds out its hands to you and just drops a handful of petals into your hand.
Annabelle's gonna be surprised. She used to just taking things, not being given things. So she's gonna thank the creature and eat one of the petals out of interest.
Okay.
Of course she does.
I don't know the reaction of the creature at eating part of him, but that's what's happening.
The creature tilts its head at you slightly and then just smiles and blows you a kiss, and more petals sort of flutter across your face.
Annabelle's just gonna shake her head and go, fairies, and walk to Ariza. Which I don't know what's currently doing. Is she still petting animals?
Are there any things for me to pet?
There are lots of creatures from the pictures. There are small little fluffy ones. There are large, interesting, wavy ones. There are beautiful dryads and things. Loads.
Chilly, tiny, fluffy, pink ones.
There are tiny, fluffy orange ones. And there are tiny little mushroom cat people who've got like big mushrooms for their heads.
I'm gonna go to the tiny, fluffy, orange things and feel reminded of a certain little pink, fluffy thing from a certain dream called Arnold.
Didn't I give you a toy one?
Yeah, I was given a toy one.
It's not the same!
It's not the same.
Rejected.
Can I be getting, like, glomped by those, please?
Yeah, sure. Do an animal handling check. Who did this last meme? Like,
Sorry. I may be enjoying this site a little bit too much.
oh my god.
I get you, my dude. I get you.
My coworker and me keep sending each other these over Skype as well during.
Oh dear. Okay, yes, Arissa. They aren't too hard to coax, and they sort of come towards you very, very slowly. However, they sort of look into your face and recognise something, and they don't jump onto your hand. They'll let you pet them, but they quiver a little while you do it. And they won't come to you. You have to come to them.
Okay, where's good boy?
You know, I
He
used to be
is
the one
behind
on the
you
field.
currently, sitting down, with Narvinia giving him pats on the head.
Okay, good. I just want to make sure he's still here and he's still good.
He is still there and he is still good.
He is still good boy.
And by the way, Hannibal's gonna be behind you, still chewing on a few petals, and go, "Huh, that's amusing. I'm usually the one they're frightened of."
The petals, by the way, Hannibal, taste of potpourri and magic.
What does magic taste like?
You have to ask Hannibal.
Delicious.
To be fair, when he sees Hannibal eat it, he's actually gonna ask, "Could I have a bite as well?"
Ask the pink one. I think she liked you.
Hello, pink one.
The pink one, who has a more feminine face, turns and looks up at you, Varric, because you are taller. She does hover up in the air so that she is then at your height.
Hello.
The head just inclines.
Could I? She said that it tasted nice. Could I have a taste as well?
The creature just nods slowly and blinks really big sort of anime eyes and holds out their hands to you.
I'm gonna hold my hands out as well.
And as if dropping a load of coin, drops petals from their hands.
Ooh, thank you.
They just nod their heads slowly and just sort of
I'll
spread
try
their
to mimic
arms
the
and
nod.
flutter away.
I'll try to mimic the nod.
You try.
Yeah.
I'm just saving all of these memes now. You're making them faster than I can keep up.
Ooh, you can
Sorry.
make GIF memes.
Oh god,
Yes.
oh god, oh god.
Yes, I've been sparing that. That I specifically haven't clicked on that too.
You know, I probably shouldn't use this website during sessions because we're taking a lot of time.
It's alright. It's fine. I'm just
Well, this is a relaxed session from what I understand. So
it is. I'm just going to share all of these. There's character backstories. Hannibal's not amused now. That's going to be up there for a couple of minutes, so just enjoy that one.
Theratus is just going to follow along with next to his Leah, but looking like he will squash the first threat he perceives.
Varric is actually wielding Glenn's shield, or Verti's shield, and the trident, like in almost a guarding stance, trying to mimic like how Verti is looking intimidating with his shield and weapon. And he's gonna like march along as well, just keeping close eye on Arissa and Pristi and Islia.
Okay.
And then every now and then on Death, Rag.
Oh,
No.
yeah, sorry, right now, whoops.
Yeah, we don't have a physical Ragnar for this evening, so he is going to be just open-mouthed in awe at all these Fey creatures who are sort of like stroking his face and like touching his hair and looking at his armor, and Narvenier is obviously stood with him, you know, as well. She is petting good boy, and then coming back and petting the other good boy. So.
By the way, is the leader still around? The one who made the tiger disappear? Is he still around?
The pink-eyed druid, yeah, he is still there. Dryad, sorry, he is still there.
Hannibal is going to slowly, after checking that Teresa is staying where she is, she's gonna go to him and just stare at him while still eating petals and ask, "Can you all see me?" In a vague enough manner.
Of course they can, silly.
She's gonna talk in the fairy language, so no one else can understand.
Wait, which language is that?
No idea. She's from other worlds. She can make up languages.
I'm going to say, Hannibal, you'll speak a combination of Sylvan, Elvish, and outright old deep Fey speech. Yes, it's not in the handbook. I made it up. Get over it. So parts of this, anyone who speaks Celestial and anyone who speaks Elvish, similarly to when you were in the Underrealm, anyone who spoke bits of the languages could pick up a sort of an idea, but not quite translate the whole thing. So you get the gist of what Hannibal is saying, but not quite all of it. And the creature responds back to you in common and just says, yes, of course. All of you, to be exact.
How odd. That's very unusual, you know.
Well,
How exactly can you see me? How long have you guys been in this, okay, I would call it universe, but it seems very small. I feel was it larger before?
no, we have always been this small, but powerful. You're not on Mercer anymore, of course.
Yes, I figured when my magic started acting up. I was not prepared for this kind of magical field with this body. You don't plan on hurting any of these humans? Two of them are kind of important to me at the moment.
Just to clarify, does that mean you are not protective over the tiefling? Or the gnome, or the elf?
As long as the human female who's pregnant and the tiger creating thing over there remains safe, I don't really mind what you do with the rest.
An interesting perspective to have for your travelling companions, Hannibal.
Yes, well, I'm only here because of a contract. As long as the baby's born and gone. It has grown tedious.
I hope you've said your goodbyes. I expect your contract to expire very soon, Hannibal.
Expire or be completed? Depending on that answer, I may have another type of opinion.
I do not foresee the young lady, and he motions to Orissa, exploding, as you so daintily have put it in the past.
I see. Well, that's good news then. By the way, are those little fellas walking around made of poison blood, perhaps?
Which ones are you pointing at, Hannibal?
The little gnome things that are on the ground that look like they have hats, like
the fluffy ones or the mushroom ones?
Mushroom ones.
The mushroom ones. Some, yes.
You would be unhappy if I maybe took one with me?
That is something you would have to take up with them. A few of them are into extra-dimensional travel. They have done it before.
I see. Maybe I'll just ask for a drop of their blood then. Well, I should probably leave. Varric is starting to look annoyed and Orissa is starting to go near the more dangerous of these creatures.
I assure you, as long as she continues to prove she is not evil, she is in no danger from us. Or that one. And he gestures towards Cockroach Squash, who is at the back.
Oh yes, he's a very strange little thing, isn't he?
Also, Varric, you take a bite of the pink petals. They taste like really strong lavender and rose water, and they give you hiccups. Just for about 2 minutes, they give you like hiccups, and when you hiccup, out of your mouth comes a little pink bubble.
How long is the sugar thing going to last again?
Oh, his sugar rush. I expect it'll wear off in the next 10 or so minutes.
Oh, thank heavens. Wait, no. Oh, I've been among these people for too long. I did not say heavens. I did not say that at all. And she walks away, like,
The
murmuring.
therapist is just going to smile and go, I'm pretty... Was noted, Hannibal.
He can't understand what I'm saying. They didn't count.
He was getting the gist.
I would say heaven would be a word Vetheritas would recognise.
Yeah, she's just gonna walk like Claire and keep walking, grumbling to herself. So, I think the conversation is done. Thank you.
All right. The pink-eyed Dryad turns to the rest of you, eyeing you in particular, Vetheritas, and he says, I assure you there will be no need for violence. You can attempt to quell the rage burning inside you.
I do not like treachery, and I do not like it when people use my friends as hostages.
That I can appreciate. It was an unfortunate set of circumstances, to be sure. But you must understand, we cannot trust just anyone who ventures here.
That's what the Zone of Truth was for.
There are ways around a zone of truth, as your comrade pointed out. And he gestures to Hannibal, who had taken it off her.
I'm gonna glare at Hannibal.
She's just gonna wave her hand. You should learn stronger magic, and just ignore you.
Varric's gonna take a bite of his pocket mark. Just to
Vetheritas is going to be pointedly ignoring Hannibal and then saying, regardless, your choice of hostages was dangerous.
Say that last bit again, Vetheritas.
Regardless, your choice of hostages was dangerous.
I must confess, we did not advise taking hostages would be at all necessary. That was a little ad lib and ad hoc on our self-appointed leader's part.
By the way, what's the witch doing currently?
Which
The
one?
witch?
The one with the name I can't pronounce.
Islia.
That's it.
The witch, the one who literally has nothing. She is standing, she's holding Vetheritas' arm very tightly and sort of standing half behind him, half next to him.
Thank you.
Varric's holding the shield out like half in front of her as well, like trying to be intimidating with the shield and the trident. Somewhat practicing angry faces.
Hannibal's gonna scream from far away. Don't attack him! He's way more powerful than you two!
So, that hasn't stopped us before.
Annabelle's just gonna shake her head and shrug.
Vetheritas
Yes, I didn't warn you.
Vetheritas is just going to growl and just under his breath goes, and I've made my oaths and I will keep them.
Oh yeah, your godly dude is helping us as well, so we'll be safe.
So where are we headed?
Who is that aimed at, Vetheritas?
At anyone who's pretty much listening.
That way. Ooh, squirrel.
The pink-eyed creature turns to you, Varric, and just very gently says, they are not squirrels. They are from another plane of existence and probably do not appreciate being compared to such common creatures.
Magic squirrels.
He sighs a little. That,
What
I
could I call
suppose,
them?
is better.
What would they appreciate being called?
Creatures of glimmer.
But aren't you all creatures of glimmer?
We are indeed. We are as one. Our island, our world, does not function without any of us. We all have to play our part. We are all creatures of glimmer.
Except for the cockroach, right?
He too is a creature of glimmer. He is one of us.
That would mean I couldn't kill him.
I would advise against it, but we have no power over you. You may act as you wish. You may move freely about our realm while you are here. You hear a voice from the back going, "Hey, hey, hey!"
The therapist is just going to turn and look at Cockroach and glare, as if daring him to say anything further.
He does a big comedy "oh" sort of face and waves his arms, and sort of speaks to the ship at large. Like, Mr. Fancy Paladin's getting all up his arse about me now.
And give me one reason why I shouldn't.
You're alive, aren't you? You proved you were good, didn't you? I did what I said.
And that ghost was quite capable of ripping more than one of my companions apart.
Be that as it may, the point was, it didn't.
Did Hannibal actually cough?
Yes,
No,
yes,
see?
she did.
Iris is going to turn around and glare at her and go, and what would you have done if it had been the two of us outside that room and Arissa in it?
Probably explode this place.
My point exactly. So he turns back to Cockroach and go, you nearly created a disaster.
Can you cast Druidcraft to make skunk odor appear under Cockroach's nose? Yes.
Skunk odor is one of the few things that's actually mentioned in the thing.
Yes, you may. Sure.
I'm gonna do that.
Okay. While he is speaking or arguing with you, Vitheritas, suddenly, are you doing it aloud, Varric, or are you doing it sort of sneakily?
Well, I'm doing it as sneakily as possible.
Okay, do me a sleight of hand check so that Vitheritas will or won't, and everyone else will or won't notice that you're doing it.
Okay. Sleight of hand?
Yes.
Bertie, you'll be having kind of like this right
24.
And you're making him smell skunk, right?
Yep. Immediately underneath his nose.
Okay. Midway through his conversation with you with Theratas, Cockroach Squash suddenly pauses and starts sniffing. Oh, I put on my best aftershave today, didn't I?
Can I make it disappear because he likes it?
Sure. Oh well.
Something like that? Or was it a bit different?
Hannibal, why is it always explosions, Hannibal? But why?
Works, doesn't it? It's efficient. Plus, it doesn't kill me.
This is very true.
My problem with this website is I don't know the name of the memes. This is an American thing.
I couldn't help you there either.
The names are immediately above. Let me see it full size to see if I say it correct. If you select a meme, their names are immediately above it.
Yeah, but I don't know how to look for a meme that I know because I don't know its name.
In that case, well, do what I do. Scroll.
And just keep scrolling.
Just keep scrolling. Just keep scrolling.
I found a better one for the why is it always explosions?
Alrighty. Meanwhile, the pink-eyed dryad creature interrupts the back and forth between the paladin and the wannabe Beetlejuice, and yes, that's the perfect one, and says, well, if you don't mind, you have proven to us that you are not necessarily those we foresaw. However, we have a lot of questions for you. We could retire somewhere a little less, and he sort of glances around at the sort of creaking shipwreck, a little less hazardous, and perhaps you might answer some of them.
We ain't saying anything when cockroach is near.
Oh! Can't turn me away from a good party!
Well, you get to choose. It's either that or kiss my trident.
He straightens his sort of dark leafy tie and says, "Is she pretty?"
Tharashis growls and said, "You had your opportunity," while all of us, bar presumably that one, and he gestures at Annabelle, was on the zone of truth.
Are you saying this to Cockroach?
It's a cockroach. Yep.
That wasn't a party! That was me trying to get information out of you because this lot was too scared to approach you! Don't shoot the messenger!
Wait, so you're saying they all wanted us to be tasked with fighting the innocent ghost that nearly murdered us and also take friends as hostages?
Well, it was their idea! I mean, maybe not the hostage part, that was a little ad-lib on my part, but a good showman always rolls with what he's got, and, improves upon it.
I wouldn't necessarily call this improving.
The Tharashis is just going to turn his back on Cockroach and look at the pink dryad. And where do you propose we go?
Well, how about... And he lifts his hands into the air, and the shipwreck fades into the distance. And you guys are surrounded by lavender and pink trees with mottled leaves. And you find yourselves high up in the trees now, above the 10-foot barrier that you found before, Varric, in a silvery white, huge tree house.
How are we above the invisible mashed potatoes?
Who are you asking that to, Varric?
Out loud in general.
You mean, how have you managed to move past the barrier we have in place? Yes?
Yeah, the invisible mashed potatoes.
Very. I have told you, it's not mashed potatoes.
I do not know this mashed potato of which you
It
speak,
felt like it.
but
Please
you...
ignore him, it's the sugar speaking.
Thank you. I will.
No, it's actually true. I felt it myself with my head. It hurt me.
Varric, don't make me float you again.
I apologise for causing you any harm. Roll it.
Let me quickly check.
And to answer your question, Varric, you're above it
Brilliant.
because we have allowed it.
Okay, I guess for now. Nine damage on the poison spray on Hannah.
Alright. Hannibal, you take about 4 damage.
She starts floating him slowly as a warning.
Just gonna save these dank memes you've got going on, guys. I'm loving these. This is just beautiful. So, you guys, there are no seats up here. It is all silvery wood and magical sort of little stars holding everything together in this huge tree house in the trees. The floor is arched like a big wave coming up, and you can sit around the edge of it as many other Fey creatures have taken up seats in little clusters and groups. They seem to be sitting around, so the lowest point is the centre of the room, and that's where all the sort of leaves from the trees sort of fall down, and there's a gap in the canopy above where the light comes in. You're motioned that you can all come and sit, take up a place. You can sit together, you can sit with some of the creatures, wherever you please.
I'd like to sit besides Arissa and Islia, if at all possible.
Okie doke. Islia deliberately sits beside Vitheritas, and obviously Varric on the other side.
Hannibal will stand next to if they came with us, the creature with petals, and every once in a while grab a fist of them just to eat like popcorn.
Alright. Every time you do so, the creature swirls an arm and like petals encircle your body, sort of offering for you to take those.
Don't offer her shit. She'll take it as a compliment.
The creature just
I think
inclines
it
its head at
speaks highly
you.
of them that they actually want to be eaten by me.
Another dank meme going in there. There we go. It's the cockroach before and cockroach after one. There we go.
Yeah, that one is good.
The next one is going to be me whenever cockroach speaks. That's another reason I don't have guns in my world. I can't make gun sound effects, so I avoid those. So everyone sits. The pink-eyed druid takes up seat directly opposite all of you on the other side. He speaks softly, but you can still hear him, even though he's on the opposite side of the treehouse. You can see all the way down through the canopy, and you are at least 30 feet up in the air. You can't see, as of yet, any actual way down, but for now, fairly comfortable. The wood sort of, it's like, imagine like a memory foam mattress, but made of bark. So when you sit, it shapes itself around you so that you can be comfortable.
I'm gonna take a lie down and just support my head so that I look over my toes around the group.
Alright, so I'll do the next bit slowly because Apricity's sound is being a little funky. So I'll just
give it a try jumping.
Okay, I'll make sure that I type things as well. So if I need a sec, just I'll type things as well so she can see those too.
I saw the meme come up. It was excellent.
I feel like Vitheritas is going to be the butt of many memes so far today.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yes. First person to make a meme about the DM that is not funny gets minus XP. Oh, Gina's in on it as well.
Oh, so accurate.
Oh man, I'm saving so many of these. It's absolutely beautiful. Okay, so So, the pink-eyed Dryad looks across at you all, and he says, I propose a trade. We have many questions for all of you, but we appreciate you have been through much in our realm already, and all of you did not arrive together and must be a little perplexed. So, I offer you a trade. Answer our questions and we will answer yours. One, then the other. Does that sound reasonable to everyone involved?
Eh,
The therapist is just going to shrug and just go, sounds fair enough to me.
Wait, what did he say? Sorry?
He said that he will do a trade, and if you guys answer their questions, they will answer yours as well.
Oh, I see.
Just saw the pigs meme. Love it. And the plan. God. Right. Anyone who is listening, be prepared for an influx of memes coming your way. That's not fair. I can't take away XP from the NPC character.
You're fair game to me!
Damn it! No!
Find a different way to punish her.
So, I will start then. I know you have touched upon this with our comrade, and he looks over at Cockroach, who is with you, sat on the very, very far end of the circle. He is sat next to two very large druid males, sort of easing his shoulders behind them so that the big guys are in front. But we would like a more intimate answer. What is your purpose in our plane?
It's a holiday.
The therapist is just going to slowly turn.
I'm gonna take another bite of the marshmallow, and then say, "Ooh, it's a creature of glimmer." Well, ooh, another one. Wait, there's so many of them.
Within about the next 5 or so minutes, Varric, your sugar rush is going to start wearing off. Even though you are eating more, it is slowly gonna...
Yeah, it makes sense though because I'm not eating as much as I did.
Yeah, you ate a lot in very quick succession.
A lot.
The therapist is going to turn and look at the creature opposite him and say, we left through a portal after going on a quest for an item that had moved from where we were expecting it and followed that trail here.
I see. And you have no idea how you came from one to the other?
Well, there was this scary demon kid who promised someone to bring us back to Mercer, and then we had to escape quickly because, well, they weren't happy with us. And then he made a portal, and then we were in the water, and we swam, and, well, then we were here.
And I understand as much of magic as that. And he just gestures towards Varric.
Oh, wait, did you call me a that? Yeah, okay. Oh. And he found the next thing to look at.
Sorry, I'm giving you some out-of-game knowledge there in chat to answer your question there. Just saving more dank memes. Loving it. So, by the way, at the mention of you guys befriending and spending time with demons, in fact, at the very idea of demons, every creature sort of recoils a little. You hear several intakes of breath. The smaller creatures and the younger looking ones all and the older ones look stern, and a lot of them narrow their eyes.
Varric's gonna look around and say, "That's exactly how I felt as well, but they wouldn't believe me."
Sorry, I was writing this meme. I'm missing something. What happened? I was making poco fun of myself. So can someone? Sorry.
When they mentioned that you guys were hanging out with demons, all of the creatures reacted very badly to this.
No. Okay. Thank you.
Varric agrees with them.
Well, to be fair, they weren't as annoying as the angels.
At the phrase angels, the creatures have a similar reaction.
See? I told you I wasn't the only one.
Wait, what was that? Sounds good.
When Hannibal mentions you guys hanging out with angels, all of the creatures have a similar reaction to when you mention demons. They recoil.
And Hannibal just goes, "Ha! I was correct. See?"
Hannah is never correct. That's a baseline rule in this everything. I was going to say this world, but then he realized this world doesn't really matter anymore with the amount of worlds we've been to in a while.
You have been to quite a few. You've been getting your world jig on.
These boots are made for walking, and walking is what they'll do.
Well, that is sort of an answer, I suppose. We cannot make you understand any more than you do. So, let us make a fair trade. It is your turn. Ask us anything you will. And the pink-eyed dryad just sort of sits back a little and gestures to all of you. Floor is open.
I'm going to give him a smirk. And then I'm going to pull a Fey trick. One of the tricks that we're known, Fey are known to do. I'm going to just ask for his name.
Okay. The pink-eyed guy.
Yeah.
Make a persuasion check.
Persuasion?
Persuasion.
Shit, I'm very good at those.
I can't tell if it's sarcastic anymore. -1.
I'm very good. That was a nat 1. -2 makes -1. Wait, if that's a negative crit fail, is that then a crit success?
Maths. The pink-eyed creature narrows his eyes at you, Varric, and says, "We are being hospitable to you so far. Do not push your luck."
Isn't your name a fair deal if you know all of our names?
It is not our fault that we are able to sense your names without you giving them.
Clotaritus is just going to turn and look at Varric and go, "Out of any question right now, that's the one you wanted to ask?"
Well, the other option was the tastiest thing on this island, but...
Varric, you will not ask any more questions.
And not something along the lines of why we were tested, why they felt that Orisa was the most evil thing in this plane.
That could
I can think of a long list of questions.
Yours
And
is-
I'm not exactly blessed with the most intelligence in this group, and he's going to look across at a couple of the others.
Huh.
Vitheritus is going to turn back to the Fae and go, I guess that was our question.
We didn't get an answer. They promised to trade answers. We gave an answer. We deserve an answer.
Your answer was that you are pushing your luck.
That's not an answer to a question, though.
Well, to be fair, they never said they would actually answer them. Truthfully, it's just that they would answer them.
Maybe don't help them, Hannah. You're supposed to be on our side.
Hannibal will just stare at him. Oh, now I'm at your side.
Well, not entirely, but also yes.
While
She's
that's
just gonna
going
ignore
on,
him.
Islia whispers in Vitheritas's ear, I think you're quite clever.
He's just going to sort of have like a half-hearted smile. It's like, thanks.
Annabelle's gonna look sideways at Verti and just whisper, Boobs over gods.
Was that boobs over gods?
Yes.
He's going to give her the biggest side eye of, what?
Anywho, who is next on asking questions?
That would be us again, says the pink-eyed creature. And as we are coming up on the first hour, I will pause the recording on that beautiful boobs comment, and we will return in a second when I turn it back on again. Good lord. Alright, I'll choose a nice dank meme to put at the beginning, so back in a flash.